If I had married him a few months ago this year, I would have been somewhere suffering.
Is it made women believe that a man is going to pluck you from obscurity, from the town that you hate, from the job that you hate, and he can fundamentally change your life. When in reality, these men have a very specific pool of women that they're selecting when they're thinking about partnership.
Growing up, most of us have heard the phrase love conquers all. But is it real in our current modern day? There is a current video trending of a woman who is challenging this ideology. Now let's take a look into what she has been saying and why it is making so many people uncomfortable online. My name is Flo. This is the Jollof and Wi-Fi Studios. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel for us. Put us on post notifications so that you are notified whenever we post a new video. Also follow us on X, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook so that you're notified whenever we upload some of our shorts. So this video is of a Nigerian woman who is currently living in Canada. She claimed that her now husband, has brought her to Canada, in which she seems to be living a much better life than she was in Nigeria. She follows up to say that her former partner, boyfriend, whom she loved and whom she had the intention of marrying because she loved her, called her to ask her for money.
The man that I would have married for love before I came to Canada called me a few months ago to ask me for money, for me to borrow him money. Still in Nigeria. Broke. If I had married him a few months ago this year, I would have been somewhere suffering.
So the video is premised on the fact that the person she loved or the person she wanted to marry because of love is currently calling her for money. And the video kind of seems like she's kind of trying to bully the man or make fun of the man. But then it has brought our attention to a critical detail, which is bread versus love. Security, provision versus I love you versus I care about you. And this is a conversation that has been going on for years, especially in Africa. I would say in some parts of Africa, or for some people or some women, marriage is like a route out of poverty. They expect you to be able to provide for their every need, in which they don't want to contribute anything. Yes, I'm the wife. I'm home. I'll do this. I mean, I get that doing house chores and stuff like that. It's hard work enough. But people want you to marry them. They will sit home, not do anything, and then you'll be the sole provider. Even in relationships, let's not even go to marriage. Even in relationships, some women expect some of these things. Okay, so now let's have a realistic conversation. This is the reason why we are doing this video. Money versus love. In the context of Africa or love in Africa, I think the situation is different. Why? Because in Africa, our systems are not structured to help us, financially speaking. Okay, our systems are not structured to help us financially. Take, for instance, someone who has graduated last year or last 2 years in Ghana, in Nigeria. How long does it take them to find a job, a stable job to be precise? And even when they find a stable job, how much do they earn at the end of the day? Calculate transport fare, light bill, rent, water bill, and all the other things in between. Okay? And also maintain a relationship, save for their future. How does this person make it out of poverty? I'm not making excuses for people that are not hardworking, people that are failures, because people have made it out and it's possible. I'm not speaking for people that are not doing anything, people that are not trying to make a way out of poverty. I'm speaking for people that are genuinely trying, but the systems are still keeping them down. So if you find yourself in a context like this, as a man, How are you supposed to provide fully for a woman? How is that going to be possible? So if you're a woman with a man, and one thing too is there's a video of another woman, she might be American, I'm not too sure, in which she says that the idea that women have unrealistic expectations that men are going to, like men of higher positions and of higher status in society, are going to come and marry them and provide for them just because they have the money is unrealistic.
About a year ago, I posted a video saying women who marry for money are corny. I got fried on the internet. However, like many great philosophers, I think my ethos was just a touch too early for the times. I do think the internet is now ready to hear my side. However, instead of saying women who marry for money are corny, I'm going to say women who aspire to marry for money are delusional. And I'll point out 3 main delusions. I know this from lived experience. I went to one of those fancy New England prep schools. I went to a top 12 school. I had interned in banking. A lot of my friends work in banking. I've worked in tech. I've worked in finance, blah, 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 blah. I know that world, so I can tell you from lived experience. So delusion number 1 is who these men are actually choosing. I think what made this discourse so exciting in the beginning is it made women believe that a man is going to pluck you from obscurity, from the town that you hate, from the job that you hate, and he can fundamentally change your life. When in reality, these men have a very specific pool of women that they're selecting when they're thinking about partnership. They are thinking about, or they are selecting women from the business school that they went to, the undergrad that they went to, the pre-professional programs that they are part of, the members-only clubs that they are part of, where they summered over the vacation, family, friends, or maybe through friends of friends. Like maybe he's having a housewarming in his apartment loft in Tribeca and his best friend brings a homegirl and that's how he meets. But it's all through very proximate and concentric circles.
Why? Because men choose their women out of the sphere in which they find themselves. So if I go to a 5-star restaurant, I'm going to meet a woman who is also coming to that 5-star restaurant. That is where I'm going to take my partner from. So I'm not going to come to the slums to pick a woman over a woman that I met at a meeting with Dangote and with Dr. Osei Despite and the rest. So no man is going to come and pick you out of the slums if you are just there waiting for a provider. No. Naturally, women won't provide us. That is a fact. And every man should provide. That is also a fact. But there should be a level in which a woman is also contributing something. The woman should also be striving for herself. So if you are a woman who was with a man who was poor, that is because you are also poor. Don't premise the conversation solely on the fact that that man was poor, but you were poor. That was why you allowed yourself to be in a relationship with that man. So if you're both poor and you're not doing something to elevate yourselves together, then it is not solely on the man. But I get the fact that you want provision over I love you, which is fine. I believe if that happens, it's fine. If it's based on the fact that, oh, this man is not working, he doesn't want to go to work, he goes to work today, tomorrow he stays at home. It makes sense to me that you leave a man like that who does not want to work while you, the woman, are trying to, do things to uplift yourselves in society. If that is the case, that is fine. But leaving a man solely on the fact that you've met another that is richer, it doesn't make too much sense. As I said, the structures in Africa are rigged against us. So let's take it to Europe, for example, or to Canada. That is where she is. So in Canada, you have structures, you have government agencies that are helping people, young men and women. If they are in poverty, there are systems that will help them. Even if they want to buy a house, there are systems that helps them to give them a grant for them to, make like down payments. And then the government helps them pay these the rest of the amount that is left. So the systems that we have in Africa are rigged against us. How do you expect someone to make it out if they have systems that are not in their favor? Think about it. So you getting married to someone who is Canada, that is fine. But if it was in the case where maybe your ex was the one who found himself in Canada, maybe he would even be somewhere better than you currently are. I'm assuming this man is hardworking. If he is not, that is fine. It is fine that you left him. But the fact that you did a video to kind of humiliate him is pointless, because I'm assuming people knew of your relationship. People back in Nigeria, his friends, his family, knew that you were dating him. So if you do a video in which you talk about the man I love calling me for money, that is why you should choose this, that. Do you know the amount of courage it takes for a man to come to his ex and ask for money. A lot of people are friends with their exes. That is fine. That is something that should be natural because you never know when you're going to need someone's help. That is fine. But for a man to go to his ex and ask them, can you give me this amount of money? It takes a lot. That means that he has used all his options and you're the only person that he thinks he can come to. So it is a way of him confiding in you. So even if you can't help him, just let him know, no, I'm unable to give you this amount of money that you want because I don't have it. And it makes sense. There's no reason for you to ridicule him by making a video. If someone wants to choose provision over love, that is fine. Based on tangible reasons, it makes sense. But bear in mind that no man is going to come and marry you because you are beautiful. Because you have ass. I mean, if you have ass, probably someone will marry you because of that. But if something happens to you and you lose your ass, it's like, what is the point? You know, like the relationship, what is it premised on? So if you find someone that loves you and you love the person, try and build together. Make plans. If you see that the person is not willing to make those plans, then if you want to leave, that is fine. That is fine. So in America, in Canada, in Europe, the systems will help you. It will elevate you, help you grow together. So they have relationships in which they love each other. These are people that marry their high school sweethearts. They have beautiful children, and then you see they have beautiful marriages. But in Africa, a lot of people are marrying because of security. And it is something that some parents have put in the heads of their kids. So as a woman, try to elevate yourself as well. So that you find yourself in places where men of status in society will find you. And then they will propose to you. Instead of you starting from the ground with the people that don't have money. And then you fall in love and then later you be coming to advise people that don't marry. If you are in a level where you're meeting people that are rich and wealthy, you fall in love with some of those people. You don't have to settle for provision alone. You can have both love and provision. But yes, that is my 2 cents on this conversation. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you think, it is right for the woman to make a video talking about her ex like this? Because there are people in the comment section that are saying if it was the man that had made it there, probably he would be, trying to take care of the lady, even if they weren't together, stuff like that, and I think, yes, men usually, we tend to still want to provide for people that we made promises to and stuff like that. Not all men, obviously, but I think it's normal for a man to want to do that. But women, once they leave you, bro, they've left you. So yes, let me know what you think in the comment section. Men, what do you think? Women, what do you think? This is not to take any side, okay? This is just to have a realistic conversation in our modern day, bread versus love. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Follow us on X, TikTok, Instagram, and also subscribe to the channel if you like our content, so that you're updated whenever we post a new video. My name is Flo. I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao.